Welcome to Binance Academy's intermediate course, dApps Deep Dive. This immersive journey will navigate through the fundamental pillars of decentralization. Spanning 3 comprehensive sections, we'll explore the realm of decentralized applications, delve into the mechanics of smart contracts, and unravel the intricacies of decentralized autonomous organizations. Let's kickstart the first section, Understanding Decentralized Applications, comprising 4 insightful modules. Starting with Module 1.1, we'll unravel the complexities of decentralization, explore its historical evolution, and understand why this concept is deemed the lifeblood of the blockchain industry. As the word implies, decentralization, in its broadest terms, refers to how the activities of an organization are distributed away from a central authority. This concept has been applied to society, government, and technology, but also to private businesses, economics, and money. Ultimately, decentralization is about finding an improved way to run things and get things done. Let's explore the history of decentralization. The words centralization and decentralization as social concepts came into use during and after the French Revolution. Philosophers like Alexis de Tocqueville saw decentralization as having both an administrative and civic dimension, making citizens more interested in public affairs and accustomed to being free. When it comes to technology, computer science has a long-standing discipline of distributed systems research. For example, distributed computing enabled peer-to-peer communications on the Internet in the late 1990s. These networks didn't require a central server to facilitate communications. In the context of blockchain, decentralization embodies the transition of authority, record-keeping, and decision-making from a single centralized entity to a distributed ledger fortified by cryptography. Such a decentralized blockchain network eliminates any singular point of control, rendering it incredibly challenging, if not impossible, to manipulate. Decentralization represents an aspirational ideal within the blockchain industry, aiming to foster a digital ecosystem that is not only more liberated and equitable, but also permissionless and resistant to censorship. While the Bitcoin white paper doesn't explicitly reference decentralization, it introduced the groundbreaking concept of a blockchain where there is no central authority to issue Bitcoins. This notion laid the foundational stone for all subsequent decentralized projects. In contrast, the Ethereum white paper, titled A Next-Generation Smart Contract and Decentralized Application Platform, directly embraced decentralization as its central principle. In today's blockchain landscape, the theme of decentralization features prominently in the white papers and proposals of virtually every project. Now that we've covered the history of decentralization, it's crucial to dispel a commonly held misconception. Decentralization isn't a black and white concept, but rather exists on a broad spectrum, ranging from highly centralized to highly decentralized. As such, a blockchain network may have both centralization and decentralization across its various aspects. Take, for instance, a dApp. While its back-end operations rely on decentralized smart contracts, it might employ centralized data storage for information that doesn't require on-chain preservation. Therefore, decentralization should always be considered on a gradient scale. The pursuit of maximum decentralization may not always yield the most effective solution. In certain scenarios, incorporating elements of centralization could be advantageous in addressing specific challenges. Decentralization, powered by blockchain technology, can foster a transparent, equitable, and reliable environment that is open to all and more fault-tolerant. And the best part? You don't need to know or trust anyone. It's a no-trust-needed, democratized ecosystem. And we're seeing this effect across different areas from finance, art, governance, to gaming. However, it's important to remember that decentralization isn't a silver bullet. It's got challenges too. Security is a major concern, and we've seen numerous instances where decentralized networks have been targeted for hacks and exploits. Despite the promise, blockchain-enabled decentralization is a fairly new concept, and we're still waiting to see how it'll fare in the long run. Ultimately, we must maintain a balanced viewpoint. The implementation of decentralized principles via blockchain technology is still in its early stages, with a significant amount of experimentation ongoing. Governments worldwide are working to adapt to the significant changes brought about by decentralization by implementing relevant rules and regulations. One certainty remains: decentralization is affecting significant change across many sectors, encompassing financial services, governance, and even our social interactions. It's set to further alter various aspects of our economies and personal lives. In the next module, we'll unpack one of the most important pillars of decentralization: decentralized apps, or dApps.